Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, and this does look pretty darn entertaining, but it is not why we're here. We are here to talk about the overall state of the game and the way the community is kind of feeling right now. So, the game has been plagued with many a bug since the beginning. Many of them got worked out, some of them are still around, but 'tis Bethesda, it's kind of expected. But here recently, more and more bugs seem to be finding their way into the game, while fewer and fewer are being ironed out, thus causing a little bit of a bug snowball effect. This is an issue for the fact that it is costing us players. We don't have a super high player count, alright? So according to Steam chart, it averages about 6,000 players right now. We go back to its highest point over the past year, it would have been when Wastelanders came out. At that point it was over 30,000. Still not like a super ridiculously high number, but way higher than what we're currently at. Now you may be thinking, hey, what about the whole Brotherhood? Did it spike up super high for Brotherhood? Not really. It looked like it was somewhere in that like 10 to 14,000 range, somewhere in there. So noticeably higher than what we're at now, but still nowhere near what it was for Wastelanders. So right now it does look like we are in a downward trend, which kind of sucks, because if we lose too many players over time, that will mean the death of the game. There's no real arguing it. If they lose too many players over time, they're just going to go, well, it's not quite worth the resources to keep putting into this. Again, I do kind of get this vibe that they're putting fewer and fewer and fewer resources into the game as it is. So we're kind of in a rough spot. Not to mention, of course, with all the bugs that were going on, people having issues with recent events, some players, they go, I can't deal with this, I'm going to take a break and come back later, see how it's going. And if they come back and there's more bugs when they come back than when they left, they might go, well, I just don't want to deal with this. And then we just lost a player for good. And then, of course, with the Brotherhood, it was like our last major piece of content. And it was only a couple hours of content. And that turned off a bunch of players. Probably cost us quite a few at the same time. And the problem with that is, well, hey, maybe the next DLC comes out, maybe they'll play the crap out of that. And maybe they go, well, I would play it, but I played the last one, it was only like a couple hours. Is it really going to even be worth my time? And then maybe they don't come back at all. So that definitely sucks. I do get, though, that Corona is a bit of a factor over this past year, but I don't really see it as a blanket end-all be-all excuse for every single issue with the game. I'm also not really calling out the dev team. It's a job. They get paid, they go home, it's a job. Now, I will say that Bethesda's a different story. Let's be honest, just real quick, I got a question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think Bethesda cares about Fallout 76? 1 being, they could care less. 10 being, oh, they worship 76. It is the end-all be-all, the greatest thing ever. And be honest. Completely honest. Hop down in the comments. Let me know. I will say this much. I feel like the biggest hope for this game to increase its player count and generally work out issues would be for them to hand over the reins to the modding community. allow mods for everyone, and allow things to be fixed. That's going to wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.